Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there.
Excuse me?
Reaching for her, trying to make her act. It was a distress call. Phaeton sensed a drowning man. A hunger in the dark. Investigation sector.
Investigation sector, huh? We should check this out.
Yeah, we should. Also...
Darkness
Mr. Wake?
engulfed the elevator. There was something there. A presence. Jesse Phaeton could hear it. A call. It was faint. Reaching for her from a dark place. Phaeton was sensitive to visitations. She had them all the time. From her guiding star and the previous director. She was the perfect receiver. As if she'd been made for this. Phaeton paused to feel it. The force at play here. It was changing things around her, subtle, trying to make her act. Phaeton didn't like that. Her guide felt it too. Polaris didn't flare up in defense as with the hiss, so it wasn't all bad. Not a hostile transmission. It was powerful, but it was coming from far away, and made weak because of the distance. It was a distress call. Phaeton sensed a drowning man. A man desperate to escape. She sensed something else, too. A hunger in the dark. Not unlike the hostile resonance. Waiting. She knew that desperate acts can have grim consequences. It was this, more than the man's despair, that made her follow the call. The elevator lights winked back on. The darkness receded like a memory. There was a new button on the elevator control panel. Investigation sector. Phaeton pressed the button. The elevator doors slid shut with practiced bravado.
Okay. I'm thinking about nostalgia division again. I want to go to the real nostalgia division. I don't think that we can though. I might check it out. I might see what's there. It's probably just the same. It's probably just the really super messed up hallway. I'll check it out later though. For now, we are here. Excuse. Oh. Okay.
Hello? Anyone here?
Guess not.
Well, there's lore. Some up there too. Missing agents. Here are the latest. Mr. Kirkland, here are the latest agents confirmed missing. Presumed dead from the containment breach yesterday. Agent John Connor. Uh-oh. Researcher Ezra Cruz, Agent Carolyn Dempsey, Agent Lindsay Malcolm, Agent Charles Murray, Agent Derek Shaw. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You'll be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your requests, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid.
Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the Bureau.
John Connor. Agent John Connor. Tractor supplement. Burrow Tractor. Note, miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Burrow William, male, Caucasian. Case summary, 33-year-old man found dead on his property. Per police report, remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Autopsy findings: blunt force injuries to the head, lacerations on the left ear and cheek, blunt force injuries to the extremities, dislocation right knee, complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture of the proximal right humerus. Extensive trauma, abdominal region, complete avulsion of multiple organs, including the stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine, all missing from the scene. Conclusion, it is my opinion that Mr. Burroughs' death is not the result of a mechanical accident, as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. It's very dark here, by the way. In fact, it is so dark here that I wonder if I should, maybe turn this up. Let's just do like this a little bit. A little bit late for that since we've already finished the game, but to whom it may concern, 2019, it was with great anger and regret that I tendered my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's redacted. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame the situation on our redacted, who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the redacted loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that firebreak. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The redacted has failed his agents. I shall never forgive him for that. Sincerely, William Kirkland. I assume the director. There's a lot of stuff going on here, by the way. I'll read all the lore before we continue on. Staffing issue. Mr. Denny. Or is it just Dennis? So yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit, we're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filing paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in this sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. This lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not just still be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Dick Grayson. There is some power here. There's so much lore here. There's so much things to read. I'm not complaining. Darling investigation. Official findings report in regards to Dr. Casper Darling. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research, despite the accounts of anonymous redacted regarding inhumane treatment of a redacted currently housed in the Bureau. Our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of redacted sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such redacted contained there. One redacted confirmed the redacted's code name to be redacted, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the redacted research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into redacted research. I assume that's Dylan. They were talking about Dylan is the prisoner they're talking about. Mr. Denny, Mr. Denny Villeneuve, the director of such movies as Blade Runner 2049 and Dune 2. A request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all of our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake. Per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. But I'm running to let you know that we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? And that's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Interesting. Very interesting, very interesting. There's also some stuff up there. Am I gonna have to... Is there a door up here? No, there is now. There was a door up here. I could have just walked up here. I almost missed some more. Keystone inspection. Mr. There's so much. I wasn't expecting you to do so much reading out. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way back to the target AWE like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try to keep a lid on this Grumman Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it is possible they've switched teams like you suspected, but I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the Ordinary case, but that was just the adults if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keenum. It's one of the, that's one of the symbols in the motel, isn't it? On one of the doors of the motel. Tractor procedures. Item is not in Bureau custody and unknown. A Frank Elk tractor. It's Frank Elk, like John Deere. Olive green. Dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses, or growls. An unmanned locomotion. Considered highly aggressive and dangerous. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of the Burrow Farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities have arrived on the scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities, let's read that as Federation authorities. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communications staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, their agents approached the item. It responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. Speaking to Mrs. Burrow only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the accident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. My lips and tongue are getting tired. Whew. Maybe I should practice reading more. Or get my muscle, my tongue muscle up in strength. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, Internal Investigations P1429 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic redacted and redacted. Redacted were brought into the oldest house and placed under redacted examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic redacted of preternaturally inclined redacted. Not only is this in breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of of basic human redacted. The investigation team unequivocally redacted the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be redacted immediately. Things I think they redact just because they can. Like, it's easy enough to figure out what they were saying. Get out of the way. There we go. But, I think they just, they're continuing the bit. Kirkland, I'm growing tired of this is Zachariah Trench.
Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. The failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen, holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of your bureau. The prime candidate program only failed because of Darling. You're both failures, plotting against me. You're traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Love and kisses. Zachariah Trench.
That's, I mean, he's already, they did say he had been affected by it for years, slowly getting worse and worse. Official findings report. Per authorization of Mr. Kirkland, Redacted was launched into the Redacted of Director Zachariah Trench. I assume the investigation into the behavior. A recent change in behavior witnessed, I'm guessing, behavior witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive blank when blank with other staff has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable redacted between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff, although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter. Witness accounts suggest their arguments center around the Dimensional Research Wing and the redacted kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's redacted as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any redacted, and that his fitness to lead is not in question. There's so much stuff here, you guys. There's so much stuff. Underhill background. Dr. Raya Underhill is a professor with the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist, stationed in the research sector. She probably was pretty pro at it. In the research sector of the oldest house, she served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a resolution to the mold threshold issue old. Also, here's some loot. Thank you. So much lore. There's even more lore. I think we're almost done with the lore in this room. In this room. There are multiple rooms here. To Chief Director Dennis. It happened again. Third time this year. Something certainly has it out for our redacted. Could be raccoons. The locals certainly complain about them enough. But why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? It doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a Bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of recurring problems is the staff at the Lake House Research Station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on Redacted Lake? I mean, Cauldron Lake, I assume. It's weird that it says Cauldron Lake right there. And Cauldron Lake, if they won't let me see any data. Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their info with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this Redacted hits again, and I want it to be prepared. AWE, I assume. This is, Cauldron Lake is Alan Wake, right? Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I might invest in some raccoon traps. Right, well, we need to, yeah.
not working.
Yeah, I know. It's not working.
Probably a loose power core somewhere.
I know what they want me to do. I don't know. I guess we can just pull this out. What is this gonna... Oops. What does that shut down? No. It's fine though. Let's oops, let's go here. And then down here. And then
There. Now that gate should open.
what was this powering though? I guess it was powering this lift? No, this light. Okay. Well, I mean the light wasn't even on, so it would have been nice for the light to be on. Would have been helpful. We got more lore. Specimen escape assessment. The purpose of internal investigation XO397 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI1 that resulted in the deaths of blank agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the case, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network on the redacted of redacted, on the matter of something. The specimen began to display... Oh, it's on the day of something. The specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive redacted. Cross-referencing that date with various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. 1, the air filters were changed, and 2, an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice Redacted entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. Given their connection to the same AWE case, it's likely that Mrs. Redacted's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the Redacted investigation is ongoing. It's the tractor. It's the tractor, isn't it? The tractor got loose.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Yeah. Paracriminal profile, the Blessed organization, the Blessed. I was gonna mention it earlier when I saw it was mentioned, paracriminal organizations. This group / individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed organization. Well, I know who's in charge of that organization. His name is Brian Blessed. There he is, officers. That magnificent man right there. It could be ghost drugs.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake.
Uh-huh. Hey, Alan. Hey, Alan.
Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink.
I saw that there. I saw Dr. Darling in there.
Gippish.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Riding.
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen it.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Well, of course I've met him. It's
Now,
me.
come on. You misunderstand me.
Well, that was weird. I feel like I need to play a different game to even get what was going on there. That's
That was
strange.
Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here?
I don't want to go in there, but
Thomas Zane was
yeah,
with
there it
him.
is.
The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
What's with that? What's with that? What's up with that? I still feel like it points to Jesse being from like a different thing. This is the symbol I meant earlier that was mentioned, the two circles with the dot in the middle. Can I just... Yeah, that's a thought. Oh, you can kind of see. Oh no, that's. I was gonna say you can kind of see outside. No, that's the reflection. That's reflections. God, this game looked good. I love the reflections. Yes. Oh. Thank you. Okay. Something's playing in the other room. Or here. What's... Oh, it's open. Alright. Okay. Someone needs to change the light in here. The light busted in the third room.
Dr.
Room 226.
Devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came, a resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Okay, let's go ahead and
Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate. The Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before. Hartman dove into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. echo of him remained, fragmented impulses on autoplay, violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC. Brought in, contained, studied. The thing broke loose, killed everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark, lurking, roaming, waiting.
Tractoring.
Then something else came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound. A resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Right. Here we go. Definitely want you to have finished the game, or at least gotten close to finishing the game, because got it. Let's go see over here. I kind of don't want to, but at the same time, like, yeah, I don't think that guy's gonna be in control too.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here?
Looking around for more lore. Certainly is a lot of objects spinning around. I can barely see it because it's so dark in here. I don't want to turn the brightness up too much. Only because then it ends up being gray, you know? It kind of already is a little bit, but look at this. What's happening here?
That doesn't look like a house shift. Do I even want to know?
Let's get this first. Didn't do anything to unshift this area. Oh, that might be good. Is that any better than 5? No. 43% versus 51? No. We can get rid of this. Look at the weapon mods again real quick. This is also new. Ballistic Ground Slam Boost. Weapon armor damage. Use these for something, but I'm gonna keep them for now. We don't have any other repeats other than the damage. I want to keep the damages though, because the damages are gonna be useful when I upgrade other stuff. In fact, Oh no. What's that? Confiscated motive. Every time. It gets me every time. Who else wants some?
Of course, the Hiss are already in here.
It was on purpose. It was that was on purpose. I did it on purpose. Let me go back. I was gonna look at the constructs. What can I make? Surge. Surge, the soft drink from the 90s, fires adhesive munitions that detonate when manually triggered or if the timer expires. Interesting. I need another confiscated motive. Maybe I'll upgrade something else though. Maybe I'll upgrade. What does this need? Hidden trend and shaded facet. None of these use any of those, so it's fine. Upgrade chatter. Shatter again. And let's equip it. We can get rid of this for sure. And then we'll put one of the damages on here. 43, 44, 44 on there. Shield dodge efficiency. Meh. And ground slam crap, which I don't really use, but that's fine. We have these new things. Got another jukebox token. I'll be sure to use. I'll be sure to use plenty of. Never. Maybe. I mean, I might go back to it at some point and try to actually finish it. Maybe. I'm not gonna promise anything though. Hello. My feet gossip at night, and now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me. Love and kisses, me. There's a lot of areas to cover here. Same though. Same. Anybody else have gossipy feet?
Whoa. Looks like the house has gotten a little wild in here.
Yeah, look at that. No, nobody else, just me. Hartman, Emil. Victor, defender's name, victim. Wake, Allen, Anderson, Tor, Anderson, Odin. Redacted. Lane, Rudolph. DeSaul, Wendy, Emerson, Thomas. Redacted. Officer names, Dennis, Special Agent Remy. Remy, it's probably Denny. Remy Denny. Remy Denny. His name is Remy Denny. Charges. Code 4, kidnapping of altered individuals. Code 8, sanctions against altered organizations. Code 37, obstruction of Bureau investigation. And Code 74, breaching the Ash Act. Offender's property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with an ongoing AWE investigation. Offender's personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. After being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each, except the Anderson brothers due to their senility, and Wake, possibly deceased. Yeah, 'cause he's kinda gone. Get in there. I can get in there, but how? You. Also you? Thank you. Nice. Anything else going on in here? Maybe? Is that... Did I just see something? Thought I saw something I could interact with. Maybe not. There is a way to go this way. Well, let's see what's up here. Loot is what's up here. Oh, we can't go past this for sure unless... No.
This darkness is blocking the door. So
This
now I have
dorkness.
to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows.
This dorkness.
Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
Well, that guy looks dead. He looks very quite dead. Whoop. Ooh, we have some mold. Thank you. Get out of it. Get out of it. I don't know if doing this has any effect, but I am. I am doing it. Oh yeah, I still have the mission thing on. Eh, it's fine. I'll leave it on. It's not like showing up that much anyway. Who else? No? Anybody else? That's it? You got them all? Okay. What? What was down the other door? Dead end. Can I, cannot see. Hey, goddamn thing. Alright, nothing here. Oops. Yep, this is how we're using a flashlight. This is it. This is what we're doing. I don't think there's anything up there. Fine. Yeah. Go on. Then what? The light doesn't need batteries. The light just needs to apparently not exist for too long. Anything down here? I see. I do want to go down there in a minute. Down there right now. If there's any loot. Can I talk to this plant? No. That poor plant. That poor plant.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden.
Before he crashes out of darkness toward me.
The resonance carves its way through the thing that had been Hartman, vibrating, remolding. The sound changes the darkness, and the darkness changes the sound. They both changed what remained of Hartman. They all turned into something else. A third thing. The sound made darker. The darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched. Stretched as anyone when seen from out of time, like a worm through time. Almost an Ouroboros, a spiral, a maelstrom. The gravity well of a black hole, twisting inward, tightening, taking you deeper and deeper to the bottom, the heart, and through to the other side. The third thing said, when you hear this, you will know you're in new you. He said, we build you till nothing remains. He said, under the conceptual reality, behind this reality, you must want these waves to drag you away. He said, baby, 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 yeah, orange peel. The third thing was a monster. He'd tear apart any ordinary person crossing his path. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden. There was nothing ordinary about Faden.
Except where she was from. Which, ironically, was called Ordinary. Ain't nobody getting my darkness. Ain't nobody, I don't know what that means. Ain't nobody getting darkness on me. The Eagle Limited. A train derailment resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been the work of a paracriminal group known as Redacted. As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had become altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE is spontaneous or the direct result of the sabotage. The Bureau had been tracking said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggested an event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, a response team was on site was able to respond to the train accident site within minutes of its occurrence. They arrived to find the emergency processes underway. Sorry, I do adjust my. See, I'm like slouching too much. But also equipment left behind by the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to the investigation sector for further studies. I'm gonna see a train. Gonna see a train. The window. But it's fine. Oh, there's more, The Shadow. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. Paranatural entity A010, aka The Shadow, is an aggressive redacted consisting of 3 known types. Type A, localized manifestations of sentient redacted, capable of occupying organic and inorganic material as well as exerting redacted over its surroundings. Type B, shaded individuals, human bodies redacted by the Shadow. These individuals become notably more aggressive but do seem to retain redacted of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. Type C, shaded objects. Similar to Type B, except that inanimate objects are redacted solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work toward a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals, see AWE-35, which may imply a shared link to a redacted intelligence. The threat this entity poses warrants immediate exploration of offensive and defensive measures. The investigations sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, to prepare for the eventuality of an redacted. My
My
sound went
understanding
weird.
of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds.
It's still going. It's still going. Is this a bug? No. Operations Center. What did this? It just... Hi. Hello. These flying guys are new. Die already. You know what? Soul is mine. I see this lore, but I'm gonna go kill these guys first. Have some water. You look thirsty. Who else? Hello? Hiss Ranger Airborne, which we will look at in a little bit. Let me look at this lore first. Let me look at all the lore around here. Black Market. A black market hub specializing in the trade of occult talismans, relics, and other assorted ceremonial objects, as well as genuine, altered, and paranatural materials, was raided in redacted Czech Republic by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but they seem to be gathering information on altered items and other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. A. There is growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among a niche group of the general public. B. These criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, and their attempts to activate them could prove devastating if done in populated areas. And 3. Couldn't help it. The motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. And then the Rangers, they can fly around, but they just use regular weapons. They can share permutations. The Hiss can share permutations through a type of network or perhaps osmosis. However, the fact that this development in Hiss Rangers has only been observed in the investigation sector may indicate the environmental factor is responsible. They could be responding to an altered item or other paranatural element found only in that sector, or perhaps this is the natural progression of the Hiss Ranger phenotype. Not enough time has passed to determine a conclusive trajectory of development for each of the Hiss manifestations, assuming any such trajectory exists. I've done more reading in this than I even have in, like, Yakuza, where I have to read off most of the dialogue. Following the NASA-FBC Coordination Agreement of 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the black rock lining now found in all spacefaring vessels. In return, all data gathered during space missions is made available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Recently, certain individuals have raised the concern that this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. A thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the Redacted far outweighs any spending related to the processing and delivery of black rock. From its medium Earth orbit, the Redacted will provide the Bureau with an unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring and photographing AWE sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. It is the opinion of this committee that maintaining a cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance. Who doesn't like NASA? Come on. Missions.
The plants in here have died standing up. Lighten them up.
Ah, more plants.
Hey.
All right, let's go make some new friends.
But let me get these other ones too first.
Air in here is getting bad. The vents, they are full of mold shit.
I've already done one of them.
For you. Headache, nausea, mold, depression. But how can you tell when you are finished?
He's still talking. There we go.
Darkness everywhere.
Yeah.
New day, same old bloody shit, said the old way. Like tar but good for nothing. Get rid of it.
Okay. Eradicate the mold in the loading bay vents, which we haven't gotten to yet. Wrong button. Seen that already. Shine light on the plants. Where? Operations, abandoned offices, and over there. Well, oops. Just pressed the wrong button. I always press the wrong button to get rid of the map. It always happens. I can't help it. I'm always confused. The bathroom. Look. Look at this. We found something.
Reminder, all employees are required to report their hours at the end of each month.
That was not intentional.
The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not subjective, and hours passed on alternative planes cannot be claimed. Astral dives do not accumulate overtime compensation. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Don't spend too much time on the astral plane, because I ain't getting paid for it. It's still misspelled. It's still misspelled Columbus. Columbus is spelled with a U. Oh no. Maybe that's the indication that this is an alternate dimension. They spell it wrong. Bathroom confessions. Bathroom confessions. Is there anything else left to do in here? Where's that plant? Operations corridor. I did it again. I did it again. I can't help pressing the wrong button. I still need to put a battery here. In fact, can I just... No, I cannot. No, I cannot. Alright, let's take this. Let's do one or two of these plants, and then we're gonna end.
There you go. Doesn't that feel better?
Nice. Nice. Who else? Is there one like out here? Planties? Plantaloons? This is still the corridor, isn't it? I'm in abandoned offices, but there are plants here as well. We only have a couple minutes left, so I figure I'll just, you know, dig around at the plants. There's one.
Welcome back to the land of the living, little buddy.
Gotta talk to it too. I mean, you have to, don't you? Anybody in here? No. Anybody in here? There are supposedly 3 plants. I've got one. Where is the others? Where is the others? Is indeed what I have just said. Is there one in here? No. Where are these plants at? Where are these plants at? Where are you at, though? This is like the exit corridor. I don't think there's going to be any plants out here. Still technically... No, I'm not technically in the abandoned offices. Where are the plants? There was one at the end of the hallway. I thought I got that one. Unless they want me to do these. No. See, I got that one. There's supposed to be 2 more here in the abandoned offices, which is where I am. I wonder if they're just not available right now? Not in here, is it? No, for God's sake. There is one in here. All right. Come on. All right. There you go. There you go. There's one. But I need one more. I need one more. Where could it be? 3PO. Where could he be? Where could he be? Is there one like here? Is this what you meant by end of the hallway? I don't see anything here though. There's only so many places that abandoned offices is, you know? Definitely not here. We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop in a minute. And then I looked in here, I thought, and I didn't see shot. This kind of goes off into the corridor, which there are plants in the corridor. But I need a I need a light. Because I can't see a goddamn thing in here sometimes. No, there's nothing in here. And it's not this, as far as I can tell. They're all like the same kind of plant. But they're all like the big frondy fern. Solomon frondy. They're making this hard, you guys. They're making this challenging to find this plant. There has to, I feel like there's Alright, we're gonna stop. I went a little bit over, but that's fine. You know, it's alright. It's alright. We're gonna continue this next week for sure. Let's save the game. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm very interested in seeing where this goes and in seeing the other DLC as well. And like I said, no promises. If I get done with everything and I feel like making another attempt at the jukebox, I might. But until then, goodbye.